Yo. Well, President Trump is calling for so-called tiny cars, similar to what is popular in Asia, to be built here in America, saying
and Europe.
In this Truth Social post, the cars are inexpensive, safe, fuel efficient, and amazing. So the president became enamored with the pint-sized cars after his recent visit to Japan, but there are some obstacles to getting similar vehicles on American roads. Let's get out to News Nation's Nancy Liu, who is live with more details. Nancy.
Yeah, Nicole, it's a big change for the auto industry. This is currently the smallest street legal car you can buy in the U.S. This is a Fiat 500. It is just under 12 feet long. The maximum length on those tiny Japanese K cars, that's 11 feet. So we are talking 1 foot smaller than this car.
I mean,
President Trump says he was inspired
to
approve the building of tiny cars in the U.S. after his October trip to Japan, where ultra-compact tiny K cars are widespread. Now, earlier this week, at an announcement on resetting U.S. fuel standards in order to target vehicle affordability, the president spoke of his approval for tiny cars, calling them beautiful.
They're very small.
Let's hear
They're
it.
really cute. And I say,
they call them really cute
in this country, and everyone seems to think good, but you're not allowed to build them. And I've authorized the secretary to immediately approve the production of those cars.
Okay. Yeah, guys, here's the thing. Like, I like the idea of like these tiny cars coming to the United States of America. But people were kind of already doing that, but obviously they were coming from the wrong manufacturer. So, they got basically banned. Like in some places, you can't even like, import a key car or even register a key car. Would it be a great idea? I think like in super rural areas or like in big cities where you have to actually like park on the street. I think that's probably a good idea. But other than that, I don't know, bro. Like, I mean, those tiny things on the highway, I mean, I get it. They may be super safe if there's not an F-150 behind it, right? If that makes any sense here. They would need to be able to maintain highway speeds and or be able to go above highway speeds for like safety measures on the highway if you have to like, speed up really fast for something. But I just don't know how they're going to do that, guys, because those key cars are generally super slow, like 65 miles an hour, right? You'll have to like make another lane for them to drive safely. I would say personally, super rural areas, and if you make them legal, you're going to have to unban the ones that people have been importing for decades, guys. Right? That'll be great, seriously, because they're super cheap and they're super high quality type of thing, guys. Right? But yeah, that's the thing. The highways are my problem.
Now, tiny cars, they are more affordable than regular American cars, but they have low-powered engines. They're not suitable for long drives. Tiny cars imported to the U.S. are restricted to low speeds on private land in some states. In other states, they are banned completely, with the main concern that they're just too small and slow to drive safely among big American cars, and that they don't meet safety standards for potential crashes. It's unclear at this point
they're crumpling.
There are new standards to allow these cars on the road, but Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy has said that while tiny cars may not work on U.S. freeways due to speed limitations,
that's my problem.
Be a good affordable option on city streets. And Nicole, with all the talk of affordability, the average new car in America has now topped $50,000, and this Fiat 500 fully loaded, it tops out at around $37,000.
Yeah, guys, but we could fix this problem almost immediately. Like, listen, guys, if you have the ability to make tiny cars start being built in the United States of America so people can buy them, then your first, and if it's about cost specifically, then the first thing that should be happening, the first thing is get rid of the law that basically dictates that manufacturers cannot sell directly to the customer. And then they have to go through one of these dealerships, okay? Listen, if you get rid of that law specifically, you'll start to realize that people will stop going to, I don't know, name whatever Ford dealership is in your area, and they'll just go to Ford. Because Ford can actually offer like actual incentives without the absolute thievery that happens once you walk into a dealership and sit down in the finance office. Okay, if you want to fix things, we should probably start fixing things there. Naturally the prices of cars will start to go down. I would suspect, at least, guys.
So far more affordable
If it's price oriented,
smaller.
Yes, but very cute. I truly always love when I see the tiny cars.
I don't know, bro.
Version, at least on the roads. Nancy, when could we see this type of car for sale here in the U.S.?
Welcome.
Yeah, it's really unclear whether U.S. auto manufacturers are going to want to build tiny cars. Industry experts are saying that American automakers, they may lean...
Stellantis is not American. Let's not call Stellantis American, guys.
...lean towards the higher profitability.
They make American cars. They're not American.
SUVs and pickups, which many American consumers prefer. Now, the smallest cars currently offered in the U.S. by the big three are minivans, compact SUVs, and it's important to note that Chevrolet, they gave up on producing the Spark 3 years ago, and that was the same size as this Fiat 500. But
yeah, the market has spoken.
Maybe it will. Nancy, you look great in there. I think it suits you. You look good. Nancy Liu, live for us there.
Thank you for watching.
Okay, guys. Jeez, that was super loud. Like, listen, I like the idea that we can kind of bring prices, specifically the prices of automobiles, down to the point where people can kind of get their first car again, if that makes any sense, without going into massive amount of debt or being completely taken advantage of by these dealerships, guys. Okay, I like the idea of these things, but I think my main issue here is that on the highways, they're not really going to be that safe. I mean, I get it. You want to call them safe, but they're going to be too small, light. All the cars around them are going to be, much, much larger, much, much stronger, faster. If it's just like a city runner, that makes sense. Like these things make sense in Europe, where everyone drives slower than they do here by far, right? And then all of the vehicles that are basically surrounding them are not really, I don't know, overshadowing them, let's just say this year. Like these make sense in Paris, right? It makes sense in Malaga, guys. Like it makes sense in Geneva, right? It makes sense in Milan. Like it makes sense. It just guys, it makes sense in all of these, like, European cities with small streets and things like that. It makes sense here. But now trying to bring something like this specifically to the United States of America, as big and wide open as we are, doesn't make sense. The market basically has already spoken. She is right. The Chevy Spark disappeared from the road here, guys. And that was an incredibly minuscule car. I don't really see too many people buying Fiat 500s, guys, at all anymore, right? So what's left? Big, gigantic monstrosities of vehicles. Chevy Suburbans Chevy Suburban and Tahoes and all these other things that are stretched, right? Gigantic Escalades, right? Do you understand what I'm saying here, guys? Right? Like, this is what is going on here. We don't want these small cars. I mean, no. Like, listen, guys. So I've seen a couple of people specifically like going and getting like key cars and trucks, key trucks at least, because they are actually pretty cool. Like the bed, folds down generally on all three sides, so it turns into like a flat bed, and you can mount things on it, and it's like great. I don't know, bro. I like it. Like I like these things. I personally wouldn't drive one because I don't need one, right? But they are definitely incredibly cheap. They're easy to work on. Generally, it's like a mid-range engine, so the engine is kind of like in the bed somehow. I think so. Some of them at least, right? So that works, I think. You said in Manhattan. It could probably, like, listen, if you just did compact cars in Manhattan, I think things would probably be better. And along with like any of the major cities, yeah, I think those things there would make sense. Would make more sense than like someone buying it, that's not in like a gigantic city. Or, I mean, no, I think it could make sense. If you're just doing like your daily commute, it could probably make sense, bro. But the highways just don't make any sense. So for example, I have a street legal UTV, and I can do everything on the road except for hit the highways, and that makes sense here because well, technically I can maintain like 65, but they don't want you to do that because it's not really safe to do that, right? So I would suspect that the same restrictions would be probably put on those small compact cars, or if you start importing or making key cars and key trucks specifically, right? Guys, do you want to watch movies with me? I never actually thought to promote it over here, guys. But if you guys do want to watch it, guys, we have hundreds of movies, and I mean hundreds of movies that we've reacted to. You guys can come watch them with me if you want to, along with many TV shows. Currently, we're working on the show Dexter, along with Vikings. And we have a lot of series that are already completed. But if you guys do want to watch it with me, the link is in the description. Everything's available at the second tier. But of course, if that's not your thing, guys, don't worry, right? Listen, like and subscribe.